and that is definitely, apparent today. So let me start, and basically the program for the evening, we want to keep it pretty quick. We have a few speakers who want to say a few words, including me and Mayor Berry and a few others, to sort of show you what Imam Shafi has done in the last 5 years that he has been with the community. So after that, we try to serve you dinner by about 6:40. Then the evening prayer starts at 7:30, and we'll try to finish by then. If you wish to stay, join us, observe the prayers, you're most welcome. Otherwise, you can leave. And so let's start with this. I hope this electronic media runs well. All right. So, Imam Shafi originally came from Kenya, and he has often told us that he's from the same village and has a connection to President Obama. So, we haven't verified that, but still, we take him at his word. Originally, he came to Albuquerque as part of a Department of State program. It was an initiative where they brought various faith leaders to the country. And he visited Albuquerque. We really liked him very much, and eventually made an offer for him to move here. He moved to the community back in about 2011, and he's been with us since then. And now he's moving to a larger community, Denver, not too far, but he's decided that the congregation there is much larger than ours. So what we have done is we have started our search for an imam, and our requirements are very simple, really simple. The first thing we want is, it's not too hard. So we said, all right, let's start with that. But then the most difficult requirement that we have is this. Especially the candidates from Texas have no appreciation what green chili in New Mexico is. So we are trying to eliminate the candidates from Texas. But then we said, why let him go away without cloning? So we contacted, of course, the most famous entity here. And they showed us a machine they have, which looks something like this. So this particular scientist, as you can tell, doesn't know what he's doing. He's really afraid to push that button. But still, we tried, and they found out that Imam Shafi has a genetic defect, and that resides right here. And that defect actually has an ability to memorize all the 24 books of the Old and New Testament by heart, word for word, and that cannot be replicated. So we are really in a quandary. We are still looking. Hopefully we can find somebody who can fill his big shoes, and inshallah we will keep on looking. And if Sandia Lab comes up with something, we might use that. So on a more serious note, Imam Shafi has done some tremendous work in the state. He has often given the opening prayers at the Senate in the State House. He has, of course, served on many panels for outreach. Oh, Bilal and Salman, Masha Allah. So here's Bilal and Salman, the addition to Imam Shafi's family. So, all right. So Imam Shafi has served on many panels, done a lot of interfaith work, and then he also has another skill which was kind of surprising. This. This is our youth camp in Abigail. He goes there. We are going to have one again this year in June, and inshallah he might come back from Denver. So with that, let me finish my talk. We have very little time and quite a few people who want to speak. I would like to call Imam Shafi up and give him a small token of our appreciation. Now I'll ask Mayor Berry to come and say a few words.
Thank you so much. Well, good evening. Good evening. Maria and I are so honored and humbled to be with you tonight on this great occasion, but also sad occasion as well, I would agree. Imam Shafi, I first met when I came to speak at Ramadan. It was 2.5, maybe two years, about 2 years ago, when I got a chance to come and see your community, visit the mosque, visit the center, and I was very impressed at the time, and I continue to be very impressed with your leadership. Interfaith leadership, your leadership within the faith community here, and just your leadership out in the community, talking to people about the beauty of faith, the beauty of community, the beauty of understanding, and coming together and sharing our commonness as much as we talk about differences. And Rabbi is the same way. And I've met a number of faith leaders, a number of leaders in the room tonight who see the importance of that. And as your mayor, I really think it's one of the things that makes our community very, very special. The fact that we can come together and really enjoy each other. And that's what tonight is about. It's about a celebration, and it's about a thanksgiving for the great work that you have done here. As I travel throughout the community, and as I talk to mayors who I meet with on a regular basis across the country, one of the things that really makes communities outstanding is when the faith leadership of those communities gets together and speaks with a voice that tells people that they are included, that they are loved, and that they are welcomed. And I think Albuquerque is a place that does that well. Not every place does that well, but we do that well here. And as your mayor, that's one of the things that I feel greatly blessed by. And so, Imam, we're going to miss you greatly, and we wish you well. I know Mayor Hancock in Denver, he's a friend of mine. I know that you'll get a chance to meet him if you have not already. If not, please call me, we'll make that introduction. But you've been a blessing to our community, and this center is a blessing to our community. So once again, thank you for having Marie and I tonight. And I have a small gift for you, Imam, if you come up. You bet. This is a Nambe bowl, and it says, "To Imam Shafi, in appreciation for your service to the Albuquerque community from 2011 to 2016. So with my sincere gratitude.
Next, I'll call on Shamara Henderson, Ms. Shamara Henderson from the U.S. Attorney's Office. Thank you.
Thank you. Imam Shafi, the U.S. Attorney Damon Martinez wanted me to personally apologize to you for his absence at this such a very important event. He had a previously scheduled event out of town, but as you know, that he has worked with you in the mosque for many years now, ensuring that the community is aware that the U.S. Attorney's Office prides itself and wants to make sure that the community knows that civil rights are hugely important, that the U.S. Attorney's Office will move forward with prosecution on anything that anybody is going to look to religion as a reason to hurt somebody, to be prejudiced against somebody. And he wanted me to thank you for giving us that platform to be able to ensure that the community is aware of that, to also work with us to allow to do outreach with the mosque, which you have been a leader in for so many years, showing that the Muslim community as a whole is no different than any other community. It's richly diverse, educated, and seeks all the same things that every other community does. Safety for their families, for the communities, free access to education, careers, and most important, religious freedom. seeing you leave is definitely bittersweet. I remember the first time that I met you, you came to the office and spoke to all of the assistant United States attorneys in the office to better educate us so that we would be more diverse in our ability to understand the people that we are working with in the community. I think that takes a lot to get in front of a room and a bunch of front of attorneys, especially people who are used to speaking more than listening, right? And you had us for an hour. And you've spoken to us many other times since then. I have been very honored to listen to you, not only here at the mosque, but at other events, and truly privileged to be able to actually speak with you just a couple months ago in Santa Fe at the Muslims in the West event. It was truly, truly a privilege to be able to sit at the same dais as you and to help commit my office to that outreach that is so very important, especially with everything that's going on in the world today. So thank you for allowing my office to work with you, with the mosque. We really do appreciate everything that you've done for the community. And again, I apologize that Damon is not here, and because he's been out of town all week, I have not been able to find his secret coins that we normally pass out. But I will ensure that I do get one when he comes back to the state and make sure that you receive one. But I wanted to thank you for everything that you have done.
Thank you, Shabbat. Ms. Tammy Peter from the FBI, she wants to read a letter.
Sorry, I'm not very good at holding these mics and talking. I'm actually here on behalf of not only myself and Samantha Madrid, but also the Special Agent in Charge, Terry Wade. Regrettably, he also had a prior commitment and could not be here tonight. But you know he would have been, along with Brian Finnegan as well, who actually is out of town. So I actually have something that I would like to read on the Special Agent in Charge's behalf. It's actually a letter to Imam Shafi. Oh no, that's fine. You're good. Yeah. So, Dear Imam Shafi, on behalf of the Albuquerque Division of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, thank you for building bridges in communities we both serve. Throughout your time in Albuquerque, your proactive outreach efforts have promoted dialogue, collaboration, and mutual understanding. Moreover, your dedication has helped reduce false stereotypes, prejudices, and unjustified fears through direct communication and interaction. And by doing so, you have had a positive influence on all those that are fortunate to work alongside you, and including me. I echo that. Denver will soon benefit from your experience and hard work. However, please know how much we appreciate all you have done for Albuquerque and New Mexico. Sincerely yours, Terry Wade, Special Agent in Charge of the Albuquerque Division of the FBI. And I do have one of his challenge coins.
I'll ask Rabbi Flicker next. He's been a constant friend for us, so a few words, please. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much, Abbas, for allowing me to share some words this evening. The rabbis teach us that every day God looks at all of the evil and sinning on earth and contemplates destroying humankind. And then God sees the good deeds of 36 tzaddikim, 36 righteous people. And because of their good deeds, God allows humankind to live another day. We don't know who those 36 tzaddikim are each day, and we each should strive to be one of them. However, certainly one of them here is Imam Shafi. In a world where the loudest voices are calling for building walls between people, Imam Shafi has worked to build bridges between communities. In a world where the loudest voices have called for bigotry and hate, Imam Shafi has reached out and taught respect and understanding. In a world where the common assumption is that Jews and Muslims cannot get along, Imam Shafi has brought our families together to help build a home for Habitat for Humanity, for our children to create a peace quilt, and for our families to bake cookies to raise money for Syrian refugees. I'd like to share with you two examples. When we were building that house, one of your community members, a woman in a full burqa, all I could see were her eyes, was nailing the sides of a wall. On the ladder next to her was a member from my community in shorts, t-shirt, and floppy hat. Two people with very different cultural perspectives, different religious views, working together to fulfill God's morality and helping someone less fortunate. When the children and families were baking cookies a few weeks ago, of course, after an hour or so, children get a little antsy. So they were off in the other part of our social hall playing, and there they were, Christian, Jewish, Muslim children from literally all over the world playing, throwing the ball, kicking the ball, playing with each other. They didn't care where they came from. They didn't care what their faith was. They were just playing. They hadn't learned hate, and because of Imam Shafi, hopefully they never will. We have different names for God. We have different ways of worshiping God. But we all share an understanding of the morality of God. The unfortunate reality is, however, that sometimes we spend so much time looking at our differences, we don't recognize our commonality. Imam Shafi has the courage and the insight to see commonality, to see what we share, and to help us all overcome our fears and our preconceptions, to reach out, to find understanding, to find cooperation, and thus work together to bring God's message of peace, respect, cooperation, and helping others to reality here in Albuquerque. As we say, Seichem b'shalom, go in peace, my brother Imam. I'm honored to be your friend. May God bless you in your new endeavors as much as you have blessed us in ours. Gail, next.
I'm Gail Rubin, and I am the past president of the New Mexico Interfaith Dialogue, which used to be the Jewish Catholic Dialogue, and then the more Christians wanted to get involved in the dialogue, so now we changed it to the Jewish Christian Dialogue, and then people said, we want to have conversation with our Muslim brethren, and now we are the New Mexico Interfaith Dialogue. And it was May of last year, on a rainy afternoon, that we came here and had our first meeting officially with the Muslim community and became the New Mexico Interfaith Dialogue. And I credit Imam Shafi and Abbas and so many of the other people in this community in helping to bring us together and one-on-one sharing conversation and learning so we can respect each other's faiths and further peace in the world. And I can testify that Imam Shafi can quote verses from the Old Testament and the New Testament off the top of his head. He has participated in some of our monthly meetings where we talked about various issues of interest to all of us, and he always provides wise words. And I know Denver is going to be a great beneficiary of your move up there, and we will miss you greatly. And we thank you for bringing us together here today.
See, I told you that gene is very hard to replicate. Those 24 books of the Old and New Testament are pretty hard. So next I'll ask Susan Skurman from the Peace and Justice Center.
Thank you.
I can't see him. Hello, my name is Susan Skurman. I'm the Outreach Coordinator at the Albuquerque Center for Peace and Justice. I've been there about 4 years. I want to thank Abbas Akil for inviting me to speak briefly, to wish Imam Shafi a fond farewell as he leaves our community. I have 2 quotes hanging on the wall behind my desk at the Peace Center. I posted them while the Peace Center was composing our statement on Israel-Palestine, but they also apply in situations such as the throwing of Molotov cocktails at the mosque, or when a major presidential candidate suggests banning Muslims from coming to this country. The first quote is from Nelson Mandela, longtime prisoner under apartheid South Africa and later its first black president. He said, quote, "No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. People must learn to hate. And if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love for love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. The second quote is from Archbishop Desmond Tutu, who led the Truth and Reconciliation Commission after apartheid was abolished. He said, quote, "If you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor," unquote. The Albuquerque Center for Peace and Justice has been privileged to walk shoulder to shoulder with the Islamic Center of New Mexico on several occasions to stand in solidarity with Imam Shafi and the Ummah here against intolerance and hatred and violence, and to help promote community, love, and peace to all members of our community, no matter what ethnicity or religion, and to unite as equals. Imam Shafi welcomed our efforts to show our support and solidarity with openness and a generosity of spirit and hospitality that made us all feel so welcome here. A bridge has been created that has enhanced our communication, our ability to come together on a common vision, our shared sense of brotherhood and sisterhood as members of this community. In essence, we are family. We value our friendship with the Islamic Center and with Imam Shafi personally, and will miss his warm greetings and hospitality. We wish you well in your work as you move to a new community, and are confident that the seeds that you helped to plant and our relationship between the ICNM and the P&J will continue to grow, prosper, and mature, so that whenever necessary, we can continue to collaborate for a world that is more peaceful and just. As Dr. Martin Luther King said, quote, "In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends," unquote. We at the Peace Center strive to never be silent in the face of injustice, and we commit ourselves to standing in solidarity with our Muslim neighbors and friends whenever they come under attack. We also are committed to striving to create a world where no one is ever attacked for their religion, and people can worship freely and not be victims of racism or bigotry. May you and your family be blessed as you move to Denver and continue to build community wherever you go. Thank you for your friendship and for your efforts to build peace. Thank you.
Finally, I think we are pretty much on time, which is remarkable for our community. We've never done this before, so I'm almost embarrassed that we are running on time. So let me ask Imam Shafi to just say a few final words. And of course, I forgot to ask him for the opening prayer. So.
May peace of God be with you. Assalamu alaikum. I want to recognize very important people who are here. Of course, all of us are important in the sight of God. But I want to thank the doctor of my twins. Dr. Lehman is here. Dr. Lehman accepted me in, or accepted my wife in, at the 8th month. He's a busy man. He's heading many departments. But of course, we have such good people in our community. He didn't know that I'm the Imam when he accepted my wife. But just a human being who is in need, especially when we were informed that she has twins. So I want to thank you, and may God guide you to the right path. I want to thank our mayor of the city of Albuquerque. You are a good leader. I have seen your leadership is not confined in specific class or group of people, but you have made efforts to reach everybody. And your presence in the mosque here is a proof of that. May God guide you. We pray for you. The fact that you've been in the mosque not once, the fact that you opened your doors for a delegation from the mosque some years back. And for your information, before Mayor knew that he would be a mayor of the city of Albuquerque, his classmate was a Muslim Kenyan called Ibrahim Kemboi Hussein. His brother is still here called Mubarak Hussein. And Mayor told me when we met in his office how he saw this Muslim observing fasting in the month of Ramadan and even praying. So Mayor was on his path to serving Muslims, not only having a roommate Muslim. So keep it up. And I think I will be unjust not to tell Mayor that welcome to Islam. I don't have a sword, Mayor. I'm not going to force you to be a Muslim. Another milestone achievement by the Mayor is the Interfaith. Mayor has gathered all Interfaith leaders under him. And a few months ago, there was a very, very great event chaired by our mayor. And so I'm asking everybody that let us pray for him, let us be with him, and let us support him. He is a good mayor. And you know, when you mention mayor, I never had this in my language back at home. Most of Americans knows one Swahili, hakuna marara. That is not how it's pronounced. You do swallow words. You have accent. We don't have accent. We say hakuna matata. You say marara, so you have accent and we don't have accent. I want to say behind every successful man, behind every successful mayor, there is? Here is our First Lady of the city. I want to thank you for taking good care of our mayor. As it has been mentioned, it's a sad moment because this is the beginning of a long journey since 2009. 2009, my trip was sponsored by State Department. It is international exchange programs. We came mainly for interfaith. Is it possible? Yes, it is. It is possible anywhere in Israel and Palestine. It is possible in Albuquerque here. It is possible in Kenya. It is possible if people only realize that our mother and father is Adam and Eve. It's very possible. And so, 2009, I landed in New York. We moved to DC, Philadelphia. I didn't know it was called Philly. We moved to Dallas, and then we proceeded here. This is how I first met my community, and then moved to Salt Lake City, Chicago, and back home. The community then invited me. In 2010, I stayed here for 3 months. And then I went back, and then lastly, they invited me because there was lack of imam, and this is my life until today. I have a wife. Catherine is here. She's taking good care of me. Some people are asking me how do you get along with a Texan? A Texan. I say she's a good wife. She is a good wife. We are getting along. Somebody told me that for you to succeed in America, you have to listen to your wife. So I'm a lion in the mosque, but when I went home, I humbled myself, not because she's a bad wife, but somebody told me that that is the secret. You have to humble yourself and say, look, I'm going to leave my imam in the mosque. Now I'm just Shafi. I'm a father of your kids. So she's been taking good care of me. Few remarks. This is a great community. A state of New Mexico is a great state. I made it a point from day one that I would knock the door or a gate of every church. I made it a point that I will sit with any non-Muslim and share my identity and open my ears, 2 ears, to listen to who she or he is. And God helped me to a bigger extent. Somebody told me, Who are your friends? I say Muslims. But I said my friends are not only Muslims. Everybody in the community are my friends. And we believe as Muslims that every human being has honor and dignity. There is general honor and dignity. Quran chapter 17, verse 70. وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ. Indeed, we honored every human being, regardless of their faith. وَحَمَلْنَاهُمْ فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ. And we made them to live in the sea and in the land. This is God talking in the Holy Quran. وَرَزَقْنَاهُمْ مِنَ الطَّيِّبَاتِ. And we provided them with the best provision. وَفَضَّلْنَاهُمْ عَلَى كَثِيرٍ مِمَّنْ خَلَقْنَا تَفْضِيلًا. And God said that I provided human being with the best provision above all creation that I created, God the Almighty. That is a proof in Quran, and I don't think if there is any Muslim who disputes that. And so, is there wish that I want all of you to be Muslims? Yes. If I ask a Christian, he will say the same. If I ask Sikh, is he here? And thanks for coming, they will say yes. But it is not based on the reality. Quran says that وَلَوْ شِئْنَا لَآتَيْنَا كُلَّ نَفْسٍ هُدَاهَا. In chapter 32 of Quran. Had we willed, God said that had I willed, I would have guided every soul to follow one path. What does it mean? You will find those who believe in God. You will find different opinions. You will find people who say that, I don't believe in God. That is the reality. And so, as much as I want to invite everybody to be a Muslim, but I don't expect everybody to be a Muslim. And I'm sure a Christian, Sikh, or a Jew, or other denominations have the same. Now, that everybody is not going to be a Muslim, should we create enmity and grudges between us? You see, what doesn't make sense is that when we claim that, no, if you are not a Muslim, you are not my friend. If you are not a Muslim, you are not my companion. This is not, I think this is false. Because in Albuquerque we have one Yale, right? I haven't seen Yale for Muslims, Yale for Jewish, Yale for Hindu. Show me. We only have one campus here where we have university. Don't we have UNM? I haven't seen a section for Muslims, section for non-Muslims, a lecturer that, invests his time only on Jewish. I see all students sitting together, all lecturers, teaching together. The whole administration is serving everybody. I haven't seen Walmart whereby there are different lines and they say Muslims here, Christians here. What about water that we are drinking? We have commonalities. We have basic commonalities, and I've been campaigning. I've been preaching. I've been encouraging everybody, especially those who believe in God, that revise your scripture. You will find that there is always a room and provision for the rest of the world. We have to promote tolerance. We have to promote love. We have to promote peace. We have to promote stability. We have to promote generosity. We have to promote supporting one another. We have to support unity. We have to be there and help one another. Prophet Muhammad said, and I will conclude with this, that the best of mankind, who is the best of mankind? Selfish. Who is the best of mankind? Who is the best of mankind? Who? Ego, arrogance. Those qualities does not make you the best. The best of mankind is a person, an individual who is of the benefit for the rest of the world. Mayor, Barry, Your Excellency, this is a good community. Muslims are the first one to fight terrorism. Terrorism is opposed by Islam, whether done by a Muslim, a Jew, a Sikh, a Christian, or any other criminal, any act of injustice, aggression, violation, any act of oppression should not be condoned. And the bigger picture is this. When we fight terrorism, selectively or in isolation, we are not helping the world. Because terrorism is not a religious act. It is not an individual act. It is a global issue. And we have to stand together, regardless of our faith, to say no to terrorism, regardless of who does it. And so I want to thank my community. My president is here. I used to tell him that he's my president at the center, but little did he know that I was also his boss, because I was the coordinator of what is called Islamic Leadership Council of New Mexico. So he was my boss here because he had to sign some checks. But when it comes to state platform, he had to sit down and listen to me. So that was very good. Mayor might have been surprised on my dress. He's familiar with this. Mayor, I did this intentionally. Because I had a suit today with a tie. But I thought and I said, you know, in Islam, we are taught that you have to place people where they belong in their right positions. I said if I put on my suit, I may beat Mayor with my suit. So I decided to elevate Mayor because Mayor remains Mayor until after his services. And so I decided to dress like this so that you can be number one for today. I'm honored to have you. I'm honored to have all of you. I'm going to miss you. I want to assure my community that Denver is just here. 6 hours drive, maybe 1 hour, 15 minutes flying. You will see me here until you say, what is wrong with Imam? Is he looking for a job again? You will see me, and my services will not stop by going to another community. Please, if you need me for any service, if you need me, I will still come here anytime. For it is all about religion of God. It is all about creation of God. We are serving for a common goal and a common purpose. Thank you very much for your tolerance. Please keep New Mexico a better state. Keep New Mexico a better state. We are above stereotypes. We are above negative sentiments. We should love one another, be there for one another, protect one another. May God bless us. May God guide us. May God guide our families. May God improve our lives. May God improve education in our state, economy. May youth get jobs. May mothers be respected. May fathers be respected. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Well, he's indeed leaving behind some big shoes to fill. So I think, we're grateful to have known him and wish him well. I just want to recognize a few people here. There's an Imam from Gallup, Sheikh Nuruddin. He's traveled from Gallup to be here. Sure. As Imam Shafi mentioned, he's put together this leadership of imams, so we really need to become a Muslim community in the state. So he's formed these relationships with the imams of all the outlying cities. And this is what he has done when he mentioned the Islamic Leadership Council. It is exactly this. So inshallah, after he leaves, we hope that we'll continue these relationships with all the imams so that we in New Mexico can function as one community, an Muslim community. So this is Sheikh Nuruddin from Gallup. He wants to say a few words.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In fact, I was very, and I'm happy to be here and join the congregation, this gathering, to see my brother. When I first got the information about Sheikh Shafi's living New Mexico. In fact, and I pray to God that this information to be a rumor is not true, because I've lost words, how the words I need to describe this man. In fact, everybody here have spoken, and we cannot even get another better word to describe Sheikh Shafi's effort and his achievements in this state in particular. In fact, 2 days ago, Dr. Abbas, the president of ICNM, called me and informed me about this reception. And I said, even to crawl on my knees to come to Albuquerque, I have to be part of this gathering. And Sheikh Shafi, may Allah reward him good. May Allah reward him good. And also, he was the one who brought me to New Mexico. And he encouraged me in so many things in this effort that we've been going through. And when I was coming, one of my board member said, no, we have to be with you also. We have to be part of this. Because Sheikh Shafi, what he did to Gallup cannot be described. So we thank him. And we make dua, prayer, supplication for him. And also, the big men, those who are here, the mayor of Albuquerque is here, and other dignitaries are here. We thank everybody, because I am standing in the shoes of Sheikh Shafi also to thank you. And all what everybody mentioned, I was here standing and listening. I was so happy to hear all this. And it's a very great moment. Arabs have a proverb which is very, very good. They say, وَلَوْ نُعْطَ الْخِيَارَ لَمَا افْتَرَقْنَا وَلَكِنْ لَا خِيَارَ مَعَ اللَّيَالِي. If we have been given a choice, we would have been separate from each other if there's a choice. But they say there's no choice. As long as we keep having nights and days coming on, it wouldn't be night and day, then separation will happen between people. Other than that, we wouldn't have let Sheikh Shafi leave New Mexico at all, because we are losing a very big thing. And we hope Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God, knows best than us. And may God help us, help everyone. And the mayor of the city, may God help him to take the leadership, because it's a responsibility and he's doing it the way God asked him to do. The president of the center, Dr. Abbas Aqil, may God help him to carry this mantle and also this responsibility on his shoulders. And every leader and every mother, every parent here, those who have left their business in their time and took their time off to come here to share this with Sheikh Shafi, and ask, may God send everybody back to his family in a good way. So I pray for also New Mexico, like Sheikh Shafi prayed. And we hope that we will still be connected with each other, inshallah. Denver is not that far. So we will be sharing the ideas, and we will still tap in his knowledge. We're not going to let it go like that. Because, yes, we will do that. And we also pray for his family here, the twins, Bilal and Salman. May God raise them very good, as good kids and good Muslims, and his wife, and everybody who is here. I don't have too much to say. I'm just here because I have to be here, and I have to be part of it. I can't let this go. I will crawl and come to Albuquerque to come and share this great time with my sisters and my brothers and the mayor and the leaders, all those who are here. May God keep us safe all the time in this country. We just love America. May God bless everybody, and may God bless America. Amen.
Well, that brings us to the talking portion of the program. This is it, and I think the food is ready. So I request our guests first to join us at the table. And the ladies, if they wish, there's food also on the ladies' side. Those who wish to stay here or go on that side, you're most welcome to do that. It's the same food, and we divided it equally. And I think those who prefer cholesterol, there's a separate table for them back there. So if you want, you can start with dessert first or food. Oh, you have dessert out in the middle? In the patio? Outside? Oh, okay, all right. I thought we had baklava also.
We do have two.
Okay, all right. So grapes, baklava, everything is outside. The cholesterol people can go there and eat. But the good food is inside the rooms. Can you? Okay. So 1 second. Before we break, do you want to do some fatihah? Do you want to do some fatihah? Just a minute. This is one of our community elders, and he would like to say a very brief prayer for just 1 minute. Very brief.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على حضرة رسوله محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين اللهم تقبل منا هذه تلاوة القرآن وتقبل توبتنا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين. آمين.
So Dr. Hakim Zamir is the patriarch of the Afghan community in Albuquerque. He's a long-time resident of our community, and thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. So let's start eating.
It's okay. The United Nations says go ahead. Certainly one of you speak to them. Go ahead. Oh, to Allah. I don't know whether you don't need it, but
Hey, welcome, Sam. How's it going? See you. Good to see you too. I'm pretty good. Let me turn this off.